video is going to give you some practical tips on how to build effective teams. Certainly, as you think about your roadmap, your team charter, certainly should talk about shared team member responsibilities so that every team member knows that no matter what your job function is, this is your expectation. The other thing I think is important as you think about a team charter is processes. And so I don't know about you, but I've been in team meetings where maybe a critical decision needed to be made, and maybe the person that had the loudest voice makes the decision, or maybe the leader makes the decision, or we're not really getting the engagement of everybody around that critical decision. And so you might want to even incorporate in your team charter, how do we make decisions? When we are stymied, when we have a decision that every team member needs to be a part of, how do we make it? And so you might want to even think about decision-making processes. You might also think about, what do we do when our team members are engaged in conflict? And I hate to use the C word, but what happens? Do we have a process? It could be, wow, we actually want differences and disagreements in our team, and I hope you do, because that's how we get the better answer. But you might want to even think about, in terms of your charter, here are some processes as it relates to decision making, as it relates to conflict. You might have a process as it relates to some communication. How many of us have had emails that just went on and on and on? So as you think about your charter, you might even think about communication protocols. How do we write an email? Or here's how we use the subject line, right? No reply needed, or this is action needed, or whatever. So you can see that your team charter really is that structured roadmap. And as you think about your intact work team, or maybe part of you are on a cross-functional team or even a project team, I'd encourage you to think about bringing this team charter process into your team. Certainly as a leader, you might start the process of a team charter, but I also encourage you that your team can certainly be engaged and participating, certainly as it relates to team norms, certainly as it relates to shared team member responsibilities, that people are all engaged in the process. Team charters is that critical document to make sure that everyone is engaged and bought into your organization. I'm Dwyer Bang. Thank you for listening.